When we were younger, we thought retirement investing was all about growth. But guess what? As we got older, we realized it was about stability, sleep, and peace of mind.
So today, i-share namin sa inyo kung paano nag-evolve yung aming portfolio and what we would do differently if we were starting again. And this is especially for those people who are in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Just a quick note before we start. We're sharing percentages, not dollar amounts.
But because portfolios are personal, and what matters most are the lessons. You know what? This is actually one of the most personal videos we've made.
Yeah.
Tama? Not because we think our portfolio is perfect, kasi it's not. But because it reflects decades of decisions, yung mga fears, yung mga mistakes namin, and priorities change over time.
So today, we'll walk you through how our portfolio is structured today and why we hold things people often debate about, tulad ng mga annuities and whole life insurance. And most importantly, what we might have done differently if we knew then what we know now.
So stay until the end because one realization completely changed how we think about growth versus safety, and it might surprise you.
Alam nyo, a lot of people ask us about how our portfolio looks like. Yung iba, mga curious. Yung iba, nagko-compare. And especially yung mga in their 40s and 50s, they're quietly wondering kung tama ba yung ginagawa nila.
Well, we want to make this clear, This is not advice. This is merely our story. Different income, different risk tolerance, and different life.
But we've learned, that seeing real examples, not perfect ones, hindi yung mga nakikita sa libro, it helps people think better about their own choices.
Now, before we show any percentages, we want to explain how we think about our portfolio. We don't look at it as one big pot of money.
So at a high level, our portfolio today falls into these three buckets. Number one is yung growth bucket. This one includes index funds, stocks, Roth and traditional IRAs, and retirement accounts that are still invested in the market. Itong bucket na to is about long-term growth and keeping up with inflation. It also allows our money to keep growing even after we stop working. Second naman is yung security bucket. This is what helps us sleep at night. This one includes annuities and the cash value of our whole life insurance. Itong bucket na to isn't about beating the market or chasing returns. It's about predictability and peace of mind as we get closer to retirement. Kasi here, we're shifting from accumulation to protecting our money. Plus, we wanted guaranteed income. And lastly, we have our flexibility bucket. This is our cash, CDs, and high-yield savings. This money is there for emergencies, opportunities, or unexpected life events. Itong bucket na to prevents us from selling growth assets at the wrong time. This didn't happen overnight, This structure evolved as we got closer to retirement and our priorities changed. And once we had this framework, that's when percentages started to make sense.
When we were younger, growth was everything kasi we had time. Yung mga market swings na yan, it didn't actually scare us. But as we got older, guess what? The questions changed.
Yung mga tanong hindi na yung how much is our money going to grow? Ang tanong ngayon is, how will this support us when we stop working? Diba? And we also realize something important.
When people say invest in a way that lets you sleep at night, this is what it really means for us.
Ang ibig sabihin nito is like, when you wake up, hindi ka stressed every time na when the market drops, diba? It means knowing that even if the market has a bad year, meron pa rin tayong perang pumapasok and our lifestyle doesn't suddenly fall apart.
But at the same time naman, you don't want to be so focused on safety that your money stops growing, especially if you still have many years ahead.
Right.
So for us, it became a balance.
Enough safety so we're not constantly worried, and enough growth naman din so our future still has room to grow.
So now let's talk about the part where a lot of people will make comments like,
Controversial yan
yeah,
eh.
controversial, like let's say mga annuities, mga whole life insurance. And we understand why.
Oh, a lot of people are against them kasi nga because of yung mga high fees, complex, and actually I really feel that they were sold the wrong way.
For us, these were not about, chasing returns.
Yeah, kasi para sa atin, di ba, it was more of like predictability. Knowing that part of our money is not tied up to the daily market swings.
Yes.
Some of our annuities are for income and some are for balance naman.
And the cash value in whole life, we actually don't see it as an investment replacement. We see it as a conservative bucket. Yung steady siya and stable. We can tap into it if needed or leave it as a legacy for our son and his family.
Kung tatanungin nyo kami, are these for everyone? Of course not,
No.
di ba? But at that stage of our lives, it served a purpose. So ngayon that you understand how we organize our money, here's how it actually ended up in percentages. So ito yung 3 buckets namin. So yung growth is 42% of our portfolio. And security naman is 48%. And flexibility naman is 10%. Hindi ganito yung itsura ng portfolio namin nung nasa 30s kami or 40s. Ito yung resulta ng decades of decision. And itong mix na to, it reflects kung anong stage na kami ng buhay ngayon. And since Haven and I are closer to retirement, mas medyo conservative na kami ngayon. And kung mas bata pa kayo sa amin, malamang mas malaki yung growth bucket nyo. Kasi time is still your biggest advantage.
Now, seeing it laid out like this, here's our honest reflection part.
Looking back, na-realize namin ni Haven na we might have leaned a little more on the safety side, more than that we needed to. Diba? At the time kasi, hindi namin na-factor yung guaranteed income na makukuha namin tulad doon sa Social Security at saka sa pension. That's why we built safety more upfront. Pero if we had a clearer picture back then,
We might have stayed in growth assets a little longer, especially earlier on. Well, that doesn't mean we regret our choices. Kasi those decisions give us peace of mind when we needed it most.
but if you're in your 40s watching this, kailangan i-check nyo rin and you need to understand your future guaranteed income. Yung makukuha nyo sa Social Security, sa pension, before locking in too much safety.
And one last important distinction. Yung portfolio mo is what is invested. Namely, yung mga stocks mo, yung mga funds, yung mga retirement accounts, yung mga annuities. And on the other hand naman, ang net worth mo is what includes everything. And that's including your home and your property.
Sa amin naman, we include our house as part of our net worth kasi it's considered an asset, diba?
Yes.
It may be illiquid, but it plays a role in our,
Yung overall financial picture.
right, diba?
Diba? So if there's one takeaway from this video, portfolios evolve because life evolves. Kasi wala namang perfect mix eh.
At then kasi, it's whatever makes you sleep better at night. Habang may space pa rin, yung future mo na nag-grow. And we're not sharing this because na tama kami or perfect kami. Sinishare lang namin ito para makita natin kung ano yung totoo.
Yeah. So, kung meron kayong sariling mga experiences, please share with us yung mga comments nyo.
We're sure marami sa atin are on the same boat. Mga nag-iisip, nag-aalala, nagpaplano, and you're not alone. So thank you very much for staying with us today, and we'll see you in our next vlog.
Bye! Okay, now, you know what? Ganon?
Ang tanong ngayon, wala.